options. Luckily, I haven't had any DAS students that have needed it, but that's definitely an issue. But they showed me at eCampus what they do, and their technology is pretty good. The voice recognition is really good, and so it already voice to text 95% accuracy, and then somebody comes in and fixes it a little bit. And so they said they can get through my videos fast now. They haven't done any of them yet. So.
Well, I was thinking about transcripts with some of the equations too, if that presents any challenges. That's
a really good point. I'm going to need to think about that.
It's always a challenge. Yeah. So when we talked with, I was helping redevelop college algebra, and when it comes to how do you make graphs accessible to blind people, you know, like, yes, it's possible, but it becomes a huge hurdle for, it's a huge what-if hurdle. So we are sort of waiting for that to become something we need to make on that first case time. Yeah, so it's a lot of time and effort, and I think we've all chosen, like, let's not let that prevent us from starting. So let's start and do, and then learn, and then we can try to cross that hurdle when we get to it. Yeah.
I would also add that one of the experiences that helped my teaching the most was about 5 years ago. I had a blind student in my class, and it changed the way I was lecturing still at that time. So it changed completely the way I lecture, and it slowed me down. It made me say way more things than I ever would have said. It made me describe a plot as I was making it on the board. It was just, aside from any accessibility, it really improved my teaching and my lecturing. So I think there is some descriptions of the equations and the stuff. Sure. Actually, that's one of the main motivators for me. You know, a lot of people, this is important, is that a lot of people use these to make videos and they want everything preloaded on a slide and just goes the next slide, the next slide, the next slide. Your students cannot write fast enough what's going on. And there's a lot of research that shows that hand-to-eye connection helps you internalize what you're actually doing. And so they did a study where people were writing by hand, people were typing, and people were just not. Sure enough, the people who at least did the writing in the computer did better than the people who didn't write anything down as far as retention. But the people who wrote, they were surprised, did far better than the people who typed what they were seeing. So one of my motivators was that I am going to write, and I'm going to be doing it in real time, so you have time to write what I'm doing. I could make these videos to be a third the length they are, and I would say everything, but the student wouldn't be able to watch it, take notes at the same time. And then there's a culture that I've built around this, and that we're really encouraging the students to write notes, at the very least annotate notes, but you should probably be writing it in real time, and I produced them that way so that you could. Other questions? You got to pass the cube.
So just human nature. A lot of people hate to see themselves or hear themselves on video. This is putting yourself right out there. And so does it take a special kind of faculty member to use this? And have you had some faculty members say, there's no way I'd ever do that because of that?
I think the answer is probably yes. I think people who already are, though, main educators and they're used to teaching these large classes where these are mostly deployed currently right now, already are a little more willing to get in front of people and talk. So we haven't had pushback at that level, but I've had some of the other professors that teach smaller classes be nervous about it and say, I don't know that I want to be in front of the camera. I certainly didn't like it at first. My voice is the thing I actually like the least about it, but I'm always like, okay, don't turn and suck in when you turn, you know, you don't want to. So I'm like conscious, oh, make sure don't wear black because then you just look like a floating head, but like darker colors or slimming. Yeah. And one thing I would say, and we didn't say, and it's tangentially related to this, is there is research also that shows that students want to see you up there. Like, it's a distance education class. I paid all this money to be taught by this expert, and all of a sudden I have this other person, and all the videos are this other person. Well, why did I pay all this money, and who is the person that's actually teaching my class? That's a problem. I mean, so no, I don't think everybody should have to come remake a video of the exact same thing every single time it's a different instructor in a different course. That said, we're going to try and make sure that there are some videos from whoever the current instructor is, at least the introduction videos, at least walking through the syllabus. I mean, I make videos where I stand up there and I can walk through how to use my website and everything, and I would say if somebody else is going to teach my particular class, I want them to make a video of that. So the very first thing the students see actually is the person who's teaching them. Yeah.
Have you thought about how to do a live Lightboard?
Yes, and I want to do it for a talk. I didn't have time to make it for this, But I want to make, I want to record me and then have a conversation with myself in a talk back and forth, where it's like a little miniature version of me where I change the pitch and stuff. So it's like, hey, how's it going? And then like runs it. So yeah, I really wanted to use it to integrate into a really interactive talk.
Are you saying like straight to streaming to the web, like a live stream? Is that?
I mean, like in an auditorium where the reversal would be the problem you'd have to solve.
So on some screen, maybe? Like you couldn't. I don't know. Wait, no, that's it. You don't see the actual person, right? You're behind the projector screen, and it's projected. So you can see the legs under the projector screen. I don't know. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, in an auditorium. I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
Oh, it's possible,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Other questions? Oh, so the live stream thing too. There was we're building a new way to get students to collaborate online in real time for an eCampus course. And one of the things we're going to do is have virtual classrooms where 20 students will log in, they can be formed into groups, and they can work on problems, and the instructor can sort of orchestrate what's going on and bring the whole group together. We're going to build that into the Lightboard Studio, so that will be streaming directly to the web right there. I'll be able to hopefully have a number of monitors and like grab that monitor and say, okay, group Newton will then talk real quick, and then I can broadcast to everybody my answer and use the Lightboard to do that. So we have thought about direct streaming, but not live in person. But live streaming.
Cool.
All right, I think they're telling us that we're getting there. If you guys don't have any more questions, thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.